Hello everybody, my name is Pegurri, and today I will be discussing my agricultural field trip experience. Unfortunately, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, a majority of the farms here in Southwest Florida have been closed to the public. However, that didn't stop me from learning about the different types of agriculture and the impacts it has on us, not only environmentally, economically, but equity-wise as well. To begin, I'd like to start by discussing the differences in sustainable and industrialized agricultural systems. A sustainable system is a farm system that works in partnership with the environment. It's specifically driven by the sun, and it's maintained by fully natural resources including water and nutrients. However, this form of practice has been not used in a very, very long time. Since the green movement of the 1960s, many of the farms in America have switched over to an industrialized system. These systems rely specifically on fossil fuels, fertilizers, water, and different types of pesticides. And this method has proven to have many harmful effects on the environment, including soil and air pollution, decrease in soil fertility, habitat destruction, biodiversity loss, and erosion. Industrialized farming is one of the leading causes in anthropogenic climate change and eutrophication as well. Not only that, this form of farming has been very, very harmful on humans as well. It's proven to be cancerous due to the exposure of pesticides over times for the ones who are working on those industrialized farms. Finally, industrialized farming is being noticed in aquaculture as well. This is the genetic breeding of many sea aquatic animals that are being produced specifically for food for the people. Okay, so next I'd like to discuss the economic side of agriculture, specifically for the industrialized systems. And most of it can be summarized in one word, which is money. Agribusinesses' goals are to create value for their shareholders. Unfortunately, it costs a lot of money to produce, transport, store, and just run a farm in general, which makes it tough for smaller farms to compete with the industrialized ones, which are so widespread throughout the United States. Industrialized farms, their main goal, as I previously said, is to make money. So that's their focus, and they are not focused on serving the greatest good for the communities that they serve by providing all natural organic food. This leads me to my next objective that I'd like to discuss regarding agriculture, which is the equity side of it. There are many ethical and equity issues that are common throughout the agricultural industry. The primary reason for the equity issues is the lack of care that workers on the farm receive while they're on the job. Luckily, there have been fair trade laws that have been implemented throughout many of the smaller farms and large industrialized farms that give workers flexibility while they're on the job. Specifically, a good example is the Coalition of Immokalee Workers. And the goal of all this is to protect their workers from mistreatment. Food security is also a huge equity issue that is in agriculture. And food security in low-income areas is a growing concern because they do not have access to quality organic foods. Many of the workers that are working on these farms are typically low-income workers, so they don't have the ability to have access to well-nutrient organic food that's good for them. Rather, they're left with a lot of processed foods that are filled with fats, salts, sugars that aren't very good for them. Luckily, Fort Myers has offered many opportunities to plant and harvest their own food, so many of these workers are allowed to take food home while they're working. So the final thing I'm going to be discussing today are food footprints. And food footprints are the steps taken to get the food that we eat. Some of these footprints include the resources that it takes to get the food, which some of these include gas emissions from transporting the food, processing, transporting, storing, cooking, and disposal. All the resources that are needed from the time we get the food, to the time we eat it, to the time we dispose it. Obviously, many people need to cut down on their food footprints, and there are many ways to reduce that, including looking for products of fair trade, certification, locally grown food, or organic food. The food forest here on campus is a prime example of a sustainable food system that has a low food footprint. We all need to collectively come together to reduce our food footprints. By doing so, we will create a change that will benefit not only our bodies, but it will benefit the economy, it will benefit the environment, and it will benefit the equity of the workers as well. I appreciate you guys all listening to my presentation today. I had a really good time making this video. I'm going to include many different photos from our food forest here on campus, although it might be closed at the moment.